All right. I think this is all of us. Good morning. A few of you haven't done so, but do remember full names and groups in the chat. Today, we're going to be diving into all of the future, right? Now, in English, the future is broken down into a couple different structures. We're going to take a look at will and going to, but also share with you some other forms of doing the future. Right now, our goal is to make sure that you have completed and you know how to use the different forms of the future with the time expressions that usually go with them. And we'll be practicing using some of the uses, and we're going to be doing some exercises just to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak. Now, as we practice, I hope everyone has gone and completed Unit 3. Keep in mind that what we're working on is to get everything completed for this 3 and 4 section by Tuesday the 12th at midnight. All right? So without any further delays, let's dive in. When we think of the future, we think of now plus time, right? Something after now, and we can use will, and we can use going to, we can use the present simple, the present continuous to express ideas for this future. Now, the future simple form, as you saw in the video, is the form with will and an action, will and a condition, will and a state, all happening after your noun. Your simple structure is will, then verb. It's very easy to remember. And in negative form, it's won't plus verb. Now, of course, there are different little changes that will have you selecting the right form of the future, which is not will. But with will, try to keep track of what do you want to say about the next periods of time. All right, so in affirmative form, I will, you will, he will, she will, it will, we will, they will, and your verb. For example, I will call you, or she'll arrive, or they will be happy to see you. All right, that's the affirmative form. Now, when we get into the negatives, when it's not happening, then we can add the not with the will, right? Your modification is happening with the auxiliary helping verbs. So I will, he will not, they will not, they won't, she won't. All right, won't is the same as will not. And when asking questions with the future simple, we're going to use either a question word like what, why, when, where, how, and which, or we can start with the auxiliary will. So will you, will she, will they be happy? All right, as we express this simple future ideas. All right, we mean simple future when we're simply expressing a fact about the future. Now, it might be that we have a plan for the future. If we're talking about plans for the future, then we switch to going to. So, subject, be going to. What am I going to do? What is she going to do? What are they going to do? What are you going to do? That's a future plan. And therefore, we use going to plus our verb to express this future plan, often called the idiomatic future. In the negative sentences, just the same, we're making the switch where we have the auxiliary, and in this case, the verb to be. So I am not, I ain't, she is not, she isn't, they aren't, you aren't. Then you're going to plus your verb. Same thing for the question form. You can start with what, when, why, where, how, or which, but you're going to be following it with the verb to be. So are you going? Is he trying? Are they going? Right? All of these, then your verb. Call, arrive, happy, be, see, have, etc. Now, when do we use them? Well, we're generally using them for either something that's spontaneous or something that's planned. Let's dive in and let's look at the differences. All right. Let's start with number one. with will. Andrea.
¿Lo leo?
Yes, please.
Both will and to be going to are used for expressing the future, but the use of one over the other implies something about the probability of the action occurring in the future. The aspect that differentiates
Mhm.
to be going to with will is the sense of planning. In general, to be going to is used for concrete plans when we are quite certain that something is going to happen.
All right. Use number one.
We use will with voluntary actions. Examples. Will you help me move? They will clean their rooms, and she won't work with balls.
All right. Now think of something you randomly say. Your thoughts, those are voluntary. All right. So whenever you are expressing an idea in the moment right now about what's next, then we use will. All right. Mitzi, number two.
Yes. Two. Will is used to express a promise. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm president, I will lower taxes.
Mm-hmm.
The promise we will call when he arrives.
Right. He promises he will call when he arrives. Now, promises are good, but you have to fulfill the promise. Right. So whenever you express an idea of what you desire to do, you don't have any evidence, but this is your commitment. We don't know your intention. So promises are usually expressed with will. All right. If you have a plan, however, we use going to. Brian.
To be going to is used for plans. It indicates the intention to do something. Example, we are going to have a party tonight. Richard is going to take an English class. Are they going to play football later?
Good. So you have a house, you have some friends, you make a plan. We are going to have a party. You have all of the logical sequences connected so the party is possible. All right. It- Richard, he signed up for the class, he paid for it, so he's going to take it. All right. Whenever you can see the logical connection between starts and progressions, we usually use going to, which has a progressive form, to express these plans. Now, will it overlap? Sometimes. Number four, Camila.
Um, Either will or going to be can be used for making predictions. When there is an evidence that something is going to happen, we use going to. Examples: it will be a great party. It is gonna be a great party. It won't rain. It is going to rain.
All right. So when do I choose one or the other? If I don't have any evidence, then I have to go with will. It will be a great party. Okay. You promise? Yes, I promise it will be. All right. If you are doing things to make it a good party, then yes, it is going to be. You're dancing, the music is great, the food is wonderful. All right. The place is perfect. That means there are reasons to believe it is going to. All right. It won't rain. How do you know? Well, it hasn't rained for 3 weeks. No signs. Okay. So it won't rain. All right. It isn't going to rain. Why do you know? Because the weather forecast said that there are no clouds. So it isn't going to rain, right? When you have evidence, you can make a better prediction. If you don't have any evidence, then you're just telling me your thoughts. Now, what about other situations? Well, we saw these before. We can use the present continuous to express near future actions, right? I am going to give you an exercise after this statement, all right? We are practicing so you can do the test before Tuesday midnight. All of this is talking about the future. If it has a fixed time attached, then we also tend to use the present simple form. Why? Because it tells us a fact. And if you have an appointment, then that's a fact. And that's what we expect to happen. Now, let's see if you understood each use of the future. Remember, will for future actions that we don't know the intention of the speaker. It's a prediction, it's an assumption, it's spontaneous. Will plus the verb. Going to, all right, so that's to be going to. Planned actions in the future, logical consequences. Simple present, when it's fixed, when it's on a timetable in your agenda. Present continuous, planned action in the near future, right? And we won't do future continuous or future perfect this class, but it's worth knowing that these are also future tenses. So actions that will definitely happen and that have progression, and future perfect action that have a start in the past and it happened before you expected it to happen. All right, so those are the future forms. All right, now it's a good amount of us, so we're going to do about 3 different types of activities so everyone gets a chance to speak. And let me go back to Andy. Andrea, let's start with you. Number 1. On a timetable, fixed time. How would we complete number 1? And while she's working on number 1, Mitzi Madeleine, number 2, Brian, number 3.
Okay, two.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
We going to have dinner at a nice restaurant.
we are going to have, right? Because that's a plan. All right. Andrea, ready? Number 1.
Yes. The train are going to leave.
All right. If we were going to use the verb to be for the train, it has to be is. One train, it. But remember, this is on a timetable. So it is present simple. The train leaves. Repeat.
The train leaves at 11:45.
Good. All right, Brian, number 3.
My ski instructor believes it will snow in the mountains tomorrow evening.
All right, that's his or her prediction. We don't know, but that's their prediction. All right, we don't necessarily have any evidence. Camila, number 4.
On Sunday at 8 o'clock, I am going to meet my friend.
Good. This is a plan. Good. All right. Elizabeth, number 5.
They will fly to London on Friday evening at 8.
All right. If we have a timetable, that means they have a plan. So they are flying. All right. Now, here, we generally don't want you to go present continuous all the time, particularly because you don't know how close to the future Friday is. So the better thing to use here is they are going to, and you talk only about their plans. All right, again. Liz?
They are going to fly to London on Friday evening at 8:15.
Fly. To fly.
To fly.
To fly. All right, that means they're going to go on a plane and the plane will take them to their destination. All right, Dalia, number 6.
Wait, I driving you to the station?
All right. The question you're asking yourself here, Dahlia, is this happening now? Is this random? Is this spontaneous? Or is this a plan?
A plan.
If the person is shouting at you, hey, 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 wait, 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 that's a plan? No.
No.
All right. Same like in Spanish. You're leaving your apartment and your mom sees, hey, you know what? I'm going in your direction. Wait, I will give you a ride. All right. Same idea here. I will drive because it's spontaneous. All right. Dalia, go ahead.
Okay, wait. I will drive you to the station.
Good. All right. Now, what if it is programmed? Eduardo.
Yes, the English lessons starts at 8:45.
Exactly. Because we know specifically what time, every time it will start. So it starts, present simple. Good. Elia, number 8.
Mm, I am going to see my sister in April.
Exactly. All right. That's the plan for April. All right. Jose Ivan, number 9.
Look at the clouds. It will rain in a few minutes.
Right. Two things that give us a little bit more evidence. In a few minutes means you can see some logical thing in the sky. So if it's logical and something is happening, we're generally going to go to going to. What do we use for going to with it? Is. Right? So not that it's a plan, but there is evidence. It is going to rain. Now, what if I saw just look, mira, mira, va a llover? If it was exclamation with your look, then yes. Look, it will rain for sure. Right? That's the difference here between look at the clouds and the exclamation look. All right, we'll see another example down with listen in a few. Practice again with me, Jose Ivan. Look at the clouds.
Look at the clouds. It is going to rain in a few minutes.
All right, we have evidence. Now, what about listen? Oye, what would we use? Fernanda Baeza, number 10.
Listen, there's someone at the door. I will open the door for you.
Yeah, exactly. The exclamation is calling your attention, but it's also telling you it's in the moment. I will open the door. All right, let's keep on going. If I show you some random words, can you make some sentences? Remember, the idea is to use will or to use going to. Put the words in the right order. For example, question form with will. Will you help me with my project? Fernanda Baranda, help me with going to number 1. Are you with us, Fernanda Baranda? I'll scroll down as well while Fernanda figures it out. Ellen, number 2, and Nedeline, number 3. All right, go ahead, Fernanda. What do you think? No? Microphone not working? All right, something is happening with with Fernanda's microphone. Let's see if we can help her. In the meantime, let's go to number 2. Ellen, go ahead.
Yes. Um, I will promise I will clean my room later.
Okay. We usually put the promise first. So I promise I will clean my room later. All right, again.
I promise I will clean my room later.
Okay. Fernanda, is your microphone working now? Can you hear us? Something's up with this, Fernanda. All right, let's continue with Netherlands, number 3.
Sí, sería what are you going to do this weekend?
Correct. Starting with your question word, what, then your helping verb, then the person. What are you going to do? And the time this weekend. All right. And for those who are wondering why Fernanda doesn't want to talk to us, I don't know. But here we would definitely be going with going to. So we'll start with I. What do we use with I? I am. How would we go it? Going to. So what's the verb? I am going to work is your verb. When? After the gym. All right, so that's our structure. That's how we would make that sentence using I am and the going to structure. All right, let's continue with Shandy, number 4.
Sí. We are going next. We are
What's the activity?
skiing
Skiing.
next week.
All right, the time next week. All right. I haven't been emphasizing the time expressions, but I hope you've noticed them. Next, tomorrow, after, anything that tells me that the time is not today, but after this moment is going to be future. So next is an indicator of the future. All right. Lisette Gutierrez, number 5. All right, let me see what's said in the. I will call you after work. Perfect, exactly. All right. Number 6, Hannah. Can you help us there with number 6, Hannah?
Yes. It's clouds.
All right.
It's clouds.
All right. You think it's the clouds that start first. I'm
Okay.
going to give you the first part. Imagínate que estás en tu casa y ves por la ventana y algo está pasando en el cielo. Te está dando indicaciones de lo que va a pasar con el clima. Look at those dark clouds.
Okay, okay.
All right?
Okay.
What is it telling us?
A ver, look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain.
Perfect. All right? We have evidence of the future. Good. All right? Sitlali, number 7.
Yes. I think this year will 1 August.
Okay. All right, good. Close. Now, you are thinking. So that's a good place to start. I think, just like I promise, are telling us that this is happening in the moment. These are your ideas. So I think, what do you think? That this year, what about this year, will be a good one? Repeat.
I think the year will be a good one.
All right. And number 8, Luz. Yairani Hernandez Gomez.
Yes. I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take a year after a year of university.
Mm-hmm. All right. So he's going to do something. What? He is going to take a year off after university. It happens all the time. University. All right. For example, you're in your bachelor's program now. He's going to take a year off. And then you work, and then you come back into postgrad. All right. Let me give you some over here. We're going to. All right, let's continue with. Here, simpler. All right, let's continue with Diego. Number 1.
Tomorrow it
All of these sentences will use will. All of them.
tomorrow it will rain on the south coast.
General prediction. All right. Iñaki, number 2.
My friend will be in 12 next Monday.
All right. My friend will be 12 next Monday. All right. Sofia Iturbe.
Yes.
Practicing with will.
I will walk with you. Hey, John, wait a minute. I will walk with you.
Perfect. All right. Jackie Ortega.
She will contact her boss next week.
Yes, indeed. All right. Joali.
I think you will get this job.
All right. Rafa.
Yes. They will arrive at about 6 p.m.
Good. Lalo Maldonado.
The teacher will explain this exercise.
Yes, exercise.
Exercise.
Right. Mauricio.
He will drop the bottle of water.
Because he's not careful. Michelle Garcia Leon.
Lots of accidents will happen in that weather.
All right, that's the prediction. Monse Jimenez.
She will scream if you show her the spider.
So don't show her the spider. She's a spider. All right, so that's will. What about going to? Well, let's practice. All right, let's go with Kenya, number 1. Only with going to and the verb.
He is going to phone his friend.
Perfect. All right, and yes, you can use phone as a verb. It's the same as he's going to call his friend. All right, thank you, Shandy. If you haven't done so already, guys, don't forget full names and groups in the chat. All right, let's continue with Natalia.
Okay. We are going to a new computer game.
All right, we're going to what? What's the verb?
Going to play. Sorry.
All right, Paula.
Yeah, my sister is going to watch TV.
All right, and Tony. Ulysses, Antonio.
Yes. You are going to have a picnic next Tuesday.
All right. So these different structures will help us to express the future. Will, going to, present simple, present continuous, and future continuous. And if necessary, the future perfect. As you are practicing, make sure to do all of your different activities, load them into a Unit 4 folder, notify me via email, and the exam is already open. So if you finished Unit 3, uploaded your folder, did your forum activity, you can do the exam today. You don't have to wait until Tuesday. If you have questions, if you need help with anything, I'm always here. Just shoot me a message. Until next time, take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.